policing for points. Yeah, Atlanta police, they have been exposed for policing and getting points at the end of their shift. I'm talking about they get a certain amount of points for arresting juveniles, a certain amount of points for arresting someone on a felony, and then they get a certain amount of points for pulling somebody over on a traffic ticket. I am not kidding you. Let me give you some details. Put up the picture of the officer who blew the whistle. You can't see him, right? Because he's scared. He's not scared of community, he's scared of other cops. Because I don't care what you tell me about the police know the police. And he has remained anonymous while blowing the whistle on other cops. CBS46 Investigation has uncovered an incentive system that encourages police officers to write more tickets, to have more interaction with the community, thus making the potential of disaster foreseeable. Atlanta police officers tell us that they were rewarded points based on their policing actions. Let me give you some background to this. Put up the chart. There's actually a chart that CBS 46 News in Atlanta was able to uncover. This is called the performance evaluation chart, okay? A former Atlanta police officer who worked in law enforcement for nearly 2 decades told the reporter, Rachel Polanski, he said, now keep that chart up for me. At the top left, you'll see where it says target goals are based on an average of 8 credits accumulated per day worked. So they got to get 8 points. So when they go to work, they got to get 8 points, okay? Meaning that I have 8 points a day is what the officer said. Writing a ticket earns APD officers 1.5 points, while a felony or juvenile arrest is worth 5 points. Wait a minute. So if you lock up 2 children, you're good for the whole damn day. You get 2 juveniles. Let me get this right. Let me do the math here. You get 2 juveniles. No, you get 1 juvenile and 2 traffic tickets. You can go home. That's 8 points. That's what it says right here. You get 5 points. Excuse me, 1.5 points for a felony. Juvenile arrest is worth 5 points. It's 1.5 point for a ticket. Yeah, my math is right. All right, writing a traffic ticket earns APT officers 1.5 points. A felony juvenile arrest is worth 5 points. Meanwhile, calls for service, this is important. Calls for service, right? That's when the cop is being the good guy. You know, cat in the tree, can't talk to my kid, things like that. Well, how much do you get for that one? You get 0.25 points. 0.25. I'm not going to lie, the officer said. If I think the person has the finances to pay it, I will stack those tickets. Does this system encourage officers to do police work that earns them more points? The reporter posed the question. The cop said, and I quote, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I might decide to sit somewhere in the cut and wait for somebody to glide through stop signs, especially a stop sign that I know people are definitely going to miss. I will sit there and wait there for my points." Are you outraged yet? A point system, policing is not a damn video game. Points, you got to get 8 points a day. And they tell you what's worth the most points. How dare they give juveniles the most points? So you get incentivized for locking up children. We're talking about Atlanta. So what color are these children, you think? What race are they? What demographic do they belong to? It creates an incentive for them not to de-escalate, for them not to figure out a community resolution, but for them to figure out how to put handcuffs on you, even if the charges don't stick. There's more. The deputy chief is standing by this program. Put up his picture. His name is Darren Shearbaum, okay? Darren is defending the point system by APD. But a current officer in Zone 4 who did not want to be identified has also gone on record. Now, I want to remind you, the deputy chief is saying, well, we do this in order to track, the productivity of our police officers. There is no incentive or reward. We just want to know that they're working to serve the community, to make sure that taxpayers are getting the bang for their buck. Lies, and I got proof. Current Zone 4 police officer who did not want to be identified because he's afraid of his coworkers questioned that statement, saying if that was true, talking about what the chief said, if that was true, why would calls for service only be worth 0.25 points while traffic tickets are worth 1.5 points? He said both policing functions often take the same amount of time. He believes the point system may entice officers to ignore their calls for service, which include 911 calls, so they do more traffic stops, which earns them more points. And by extension, ladies and gentlemen, they arrest more juveniles, okay? All right, so literally, you get a 911 call, the operator goes to dispatch, operator says, hey, call for service in your area, police ignore it. They ignore it because they're only gonna get 0.25 points. You know how many calls of service you gotta do in order to get your 8-point total in this ridiculous system? There's more. CBS 46 News got a hold of an email, an APD Zone 4 major sent his officers praising the evening watch, that's the shift, for, and I quote, going from 85 stops in a week to 180 stops in week 2. And shaming the morning watch who finished last with a disappointing 112 stops. Some of you may be thinking, well, Doc, surely Atlanta police, they're not the only ones with this dumbass system. Maybe this is systemic. Well, we checked. Let's put it up. Milwaukee police said, and I quote, we do not have an evaluation of officers' activity. Miami-Dade police said, and I quote, the Miami-Dade Police Department does not utilize any point system for evaluation. Philadelphia police said, and I quote, our police department does not do this. New York police said, and I quote, the NYPD does not evaluate our members in this manner. Specifically, we do not award points based on activity of law enforcement. Boston police, our police department does not do this. Cleveland police, the Cleveland Division of Police does not use any programs like the one described. Austin police, we currently do not have any programs in place similar to this model. And the list goes on and on and on. This is the city of Dr. King. You have a young, supposedly progressive mayor, Andre Dickens. You got plenty of black folks on the council. How in the hell did this happen? You have a black mayor, a black police chief, put up his picture. I know they put the deputy chief out there to talk and defend the program, but that is Chief Rodney Bryant. He's the guy in charge of the police department. Now, when I tell you I'm disappointed, that is an understatement, because I know some of these folks at Atlanta City Hall, and they should be more outraged than me. You're giving cops incentives to lock up juveniles? Ms. Dahl, in all of your years working as an officer of the court, have you seen a sophisticated system like this for law enforcement ever?
I haven't. And the fact with the juveniles, to me, is also the most disgusting part of it. I mean, I think usually with these things, you could say follow the money, right? I mean, the parking tickets, where is the money going to the parking ticket? Is it going to the police department, right? I mean, that's usually the incentive here is greed. And maybe a way to solve it is having the money go to the public school system instead, right? For this for the tickets that they pull over. No longer have that tied to, whoever gets the money is also the one who kind of oversees how often it's gonna get pulled over. Because, as you said, I mean, that pulling over somebody is the highest, that interaction is the highest touch point where police officers are killed, and much more that people are killed, and a majority of them are people of color. So it creates a very dangerous situation, and for them to have this kind of incentive, it's probably because of the money. So I say let's solve the money problem.
And I'm going to say this on the record because I know a lot of people in the city of Atlanta watch this show. A lot of those in elected capacity watch this program. You're going to have to change this. This has to go. Now, the next time I report on it, I should be reporting that you have scrapped this ridiculous system that creates targets and points out of citizens rather than making them who they are, which is a community you're supposed to serve.